Welcome to another episode of Lunch with the Shark. Join us as we dive deep into discussions about business, accounting, and finance to help you build a business that thrives. Now sit back and have a bite with your host, the Shark CFO, Vidal Espinosa.
Well, hello, good afternoon. Welcome to a new edition of Lunch with the Shark. I am your host, Vidal, the Shark CFO, Espinosa, and I am really happy to be here this afternoon with you. It's a little bit chilly out there. I'm telling you, down here in the Baja Rosarito area, it's a bit chilly, but all good, all good. Hi to Jose Luis. It was nice talking to you earlier today. Yes, we are living down here. Yes, we still haven't found a house. Yes, we're still struggling with the internet, but we're getting through, and everything is panning out almost perfectly. There's not a lot of things that I can complain about, other than the stench around this area. It's deplorable. It's something that, dude, like if there's somebody out there that knows, and this is the problem with Mexico. Do you know somebody that can help us? Somebody that knows somebody that can actually help? It's been years and years and years with this issue. Raw sewage flows straight to the ocean from the properties on the other side of the highway. It's something deplorable. It's something that it shouldn't happen. It's something that you know what I was saying to somebody here a couple of weeks ago. If I were to become governor of Baja California, you know what I would do? The first thing I do is I would do an investigation and see who was bribed and actually go and dump that raw sewage straight to their houses, because it's deplorable. It's they're killing the environment. They really don't care about anything. They just care about their well-being. It's like, yeah, do whatever you want. Give me a couple of $1,000 and don't even connect the sewage line to the city line or whatever it is, and just dump everything because it's easier. Let's dump it, just all of it, to the ocean. It shocks me. It floors me. It gets me like so angry and upset. It's unbelievable that for a few dollars they can care less about the environment. They can care less about the community. They can care less about the everything. It's deplorable. But that actually is, it's normal down here. And I tell people, it's not because I like or enjoy living in the US, but you know what? It's a little bit more, there's more order. There's more, they're more civilized. Yeah, they kill, yeah, the gringos kill their kids. Just look what happens here. And I'm not bashing Mexico. I adore Mexico. I'm proud of being Mexican. My family's Mexican. I am Mexican. I have the opportunity, and I'm blessed of being a U.S. citizen. But dude, come on, like, let's do something to better our nation. Let's do something to better our country. Let's start by us. Oh, you don't know who I am? Well, I'm gonna show you who I am, dude. That's not the attitude. Like, it's unbelievable. But you know what? Other than that, other than the stitch to raw sewage and seeing the river of raw sewage go down the hill, other than that, geez, everything's fine. I'm glad that, thank God, no one in my family has gotten sick to a degree of dying. And I wouldn't blame the government for that, because in reality, they're not to blame. So Let's think about that. And I'm not saying that the government has done their best job or they're doing a great job on mitigating this chingadera, but blaming others for our own actions doesn't work like that. And it brings me to today's topic. Are we blaming others for our own actions within our organization? Remember, you are the head of the organization. Remember what we said. A corporate culture starts from the top down. And today we're going to talk about 8 essential steps to build a winning corporate culture. Meaning, we're going to go on the opposite way. We're not going to talk about flaws on the corporate culture. We're going to talk about how to build a winning corporate culture. So we're going to talk about positive things. What is it that we need to do to have a successful corporate culture? And it's not just for big organizations. It's not for big corporations like Zappos or JetBlue or Disneyland or Universal Studios. It's a universal and fundamental theme. You must have solid foundations if you want to grow your company. Again, I've never heard any business owner start their business and say, I'm just going to get my company to $1 million and that's it. I'm just going to stay at $1 million. You stay at $1 million because that's what you had visioned. And then you need to vision a $2 or $3 or $5 million company. And then go like that. But I've never heard of like, yeah, as soon as I hit $1 million in revenue or in profit, that's it. I'm done. See you. No. You're going to want more and more and more, right? So the only way you're going to achieve the more and more and more, it's if you have a good solid foundation. Winning corporate culture, winning marketing plan, winning business plan, winning, right? So these companies are all revered for their thriving and coveted corporate culture. Corporate culture, remember, it starts from the top to the bottom and it aligns your beliefs with the company's mission, okay? Then, okay, it's the foundation, okay? So, culture that customers and employees are falling in love with and thereby helping drive business success. Remember, human resources capital, it's one of the most, if not the most important capital for your organization. If you have a thriving corporate culture within your HR, which is your human resource capital, you'll have a successful business. Culture can make or break a company. Yes. Culture can make or break the company. Okay? So, startups, take notice. Culture is incredibly important because it sets the tone for everything from how the early team interacts to the kinds of hires made to how customers are treated. One mistake can set your back months. On the other hand, you have the opportunity to set your company apart by building a winning culture. I'm going to give you an example. And let me think how I'm going to phrase it and position it, because look, you are not going to please everyone. Okay? You're not supposed to please everybody. And I'm going to give you 2 examples here. The first one is in the restaurant industry. Okay? If you don't have a clear vision of what your restaurant is, you're going to become a restaurant without an identity. What do I mean about that? Restaurants that have sushi, pizza, pasta, seafood, steak, Thai. You understand what I'm saying? They have no identity. They want to please everyone. And in doing so, they don't specialize in just one cuisine. Therefore, they might have, and now listen to what I said, they might have really bad seafood, really bad sushi, but great pasta, or really good pasta. That's it. But they don't excel in one cuisine. Okay? Because what they're trying to do is they're trying to grasp to the whole universe of people that want to go out and dine. Nevertheless, they don't grasp at anything at all. It's the same thing with the corporate culture. If you want to appease everyone within your organization, it's not going to work. Okay? One people are going to want to have Fridays off. Other want Mondays off. Others like, no, I don't want neither Fridays or Mondays. I want Wednesdays off. So if you want to please everyone within your organization, you're gonna fail. This is why we need to identify these steps. This is why we need to identify our corporate culture. This is why we need to be very sure that whomever we hire aligns properly with our corporate culture. Does that make sense? But the corporate culture, it's not done by our team members. The corporate culture comes from within your mission, comes from within you, which is the top, the head of the organization. They don't tell you, your team members don't tell you what your corporate culture is. They have to align to it. Here are the 8 steps to create a winning corporate culture. Learn from the past with all the experiences from which we can draw value lessons. If you're a first-time founder, examine the corporate culture or organizations you worked for previously. What worked for other cultures? What didn't? Similarities. If you're a seasoned entrepreneur, think about the culture you already created. What culture? Success. Learn from the past. Even though it didn't work, learn from it because you're not gonna implement it. Make sense? Number 2, create a culture that aligns with your core values. This is your business. You're driving it, and you need to infuse who you are into what you do. Otherwise, it won't work. Think about your personality and, more importantly, your core values. Are you ingeniously innovating or unwittingly creative? Do you foster a work hard, play hard mentality? Are you relaxed but also expect the best from people? If so, create the balance of work and play. Are you true collaborator? Then advance that behavior into your company and promote the people who gets it. Do you expect the Disney level of customer service for everyone at every level? Then hire people who display the spark, smile, and personality. Create a culture that aligns with your core values. Who are you? Hernan, sup, dude? Culture is super important. It will drive your company sky high or into the ground. Completely agree with you. 100% agree with you. And I'm going to give you an example with this. Several years ago, when I was in university, well, not me, my brother, Gilberto, what's up, dude? It was his birthday yesterday. Happy birthday! Um, he went to school in Guadalajara, right? To Universidad Panamericana. And we became really good friends to the PR people from the Universidad Panamericana Guadalajara. And every year they made a trip down to Tijuana to visit high schools to promote the university. And this trip, they came 3 or 4 people from the university, and they actually worked one or 2 days, and then it was on a weekend, right? So we either go to Vegas or we had a weekend. So what I noticed is that 3 out of those 4 people, they were into, you know what? We are at a university environment. We need to dress up. Competing among themselves to see who bought the best shirts, the best ties, suits at the lowest prices. Always looking for deals, but they were like, that was their culture within the PR department. The other one was not into it. So, needless to say, I only saw this individual in one trip and not after that. It wasn't part of the culture. Now, that university may have that culture, like to dress up. Like it is very, I'm not going to say preppy, but it's very European. Okay, so the ties were very European, very British, and the suits the same. So that's the culture, and believe me, that is the culture throughout that university. Number 3, find great people who com, complement you. Sorry. Find great people who complement you. Round out corporate culture by hiring people who offer different experiences than you. As temperature as it might be, avoid hire a mini-me. It's not going to help you. Identify your strengths and weaknesses, then fill in the gaps. You don't want people pleasers. You don't want people that are going to say, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Whatever you say, sir, yes. I'm here to serve you, sir. Yes, sir, yes, sir. No, you don't want that. You don't want that. You want people that complement where you lack. People to complement your weaknesses. People that you complement their weaknesses. You need a team of successful people. You don't want people pleasers. Communicate. Number 4. One of Sapo's 10 core value is build open and honest relationships with communication. Founder Tom Hisek exemplified this value when he announced Amazon's $850 million acquisition of Sapos in one letter to the team members in 2009. The company continues to thrive, as does its core value. Unfortunately, he passed away. And you know what happened yesterday with Amazon? I'm pretty sure everybody knows about for now. CEO, founder, stepping down on third quarter. Number 5, have fun. It's very simple. A little fun goes a long way. Grant this looks different for every business. A tech company can get away with more fun than perhaps a law firm or a hospital. But there are ways to engage employees, team members, in activities that feel less like work. For example, declare half day off on Fridays for the whole summer. Take your team into indoor rock climbing. Go to a wine tasting after work hours or hold a contest. Just do something out of context and give people the freedom to relax, show up in different ways, and have fun. Have fun. People, work is not a funeral. There's some funerals that are fun. Not all of them, but just have fun. Don't be uptight. Number 6, sorry. Invite people to drink the Kool-Aid. Bottom line. Everyone needs to be a deliver. They need to be believers. If you don't stand for anything, you stand for nothing. JetBlue hires new crew members. The company invites them and their spouses to JetBlue University for orientation in Orlando. They introduce guests to top leadership, show brand videos, share stories, fly simulators, and wine and dine. In other words, they invite them to drink the JetBlue juice. And it works. JetBlue annual net profit rose from $58 million in 2019 to $168 million in 2013, and I'm pretty sure those numbers have been updated. So invite your team, your new team members, to experience who you are, what you do. If you're a small company or a small business owner, invite them to your house. Show them what you have. Entice them to be you so they can grow with you. Not make them grow so you can grow. You need to share. You need to show them what you have accomplished. But at that, you need to observe them. They might not be the right fit either. Number 7, work as a team. Stop thinking of people in terms of employees or departments. I don't know if you've heard me say throughout, team members, team members, team members, team members. They're not employees. They're your team members. They're your peers. See them face eye to eye, face to face at the same level. What does leadership do? You need to see them eye to eye. Treat them as your equals. They're not your servants. They're your team members. What does Walt Disney organization calls them? They don't call them employees. They call them cast members. Why? Because everything, it's a production. They're putting up a show. That's what they do. Okay? So they're your team members. Don't call them employees. The best people are team players who truly support the company, its founders, managers, and co-workers. And number 8, maintain and carefully evolve your culture. Culture is not something you put in place and expect to stay forever. Hello, set it and forget it. Does not work in human resources, does not work in your company culture, okay? And also HR, remember, you are not a party planner. You are not supposed to be a people pleaser on the individual level. Oh, I want more time off. Well, tough, dude, right? So culture is something that you put in place and expect. It's not expected to stay there forever. It takes work. You need to nurture it. You also need to give it freedom to evolve. Evolve like any virus. If you clinch too tightly to your culture, you risk smothering it. Protect it, yes, but understand that your culture will shrink as well. And that's okay, so as long as it maintains its core. Okay, so I learned this firsthand when I started a company centered on a remote, relaxed culture that relied heavily on technology to get everything done. We lost millions. It didn't fit and led me to hire the wrong kind of people for the company. We hired people that allegedly knew, allegedly had contacts, allegedly. They did not fit my vision of the company. I changed the culture late. So evaluate people on your team against the backdrop of your culture. Effectively evolving your company culture sometimes requires making hard decisions to let go of people who don't evolve with you. On my participation on the forum that we were invited, they asked me, hey, how did you grow? And I said, you know what? Let me start by defining what I believe growth means. And I said, 2020 growth should mean I did not lose versus 2019. My revenue and or my profits fluctuated very little, either up or down, but I stayed stable. Most organizations grew, believe it or not. Most organizations that actually took massive action immediately, and I mean March, the second, the third week, fourth week of March, the month of April, if you took major, massive action, your company did not suffer. That is part of your company culture. People evolved with you. People accepted the challenges that time was bringing into your organization. They accepted the fact that they were going to stay home, deal with their kids, deal with their spouses, deal with their family at the same time that they were going to have to be dealing with work. They accepted the fact, if they were teachers, that they were not going to go back to school to teach kids or students from university. They accepted the fact. They evolved with those organizations. They figure out a way on implementing systems, procedures, technology, learning new technology to deliver. If they did not accept that, if they weren't and shelter themselves and they have not evolved with you, it is really hard, but you have to let them go because they're going to be holding you back. No, I don't want to go back to school because I'm scared that I'm going to contract the virus. It's not a safe place. Well, it was not a safe place in the beginning. It was not safe place. If you're a kindergarten, a elementary school teacher, I hear you. But kids have viruses. Kids are sick all the time. They're kids. How unsafe compared to previous this was it or is it? It's not that much unsafe. Yeah, there might not be a definite cure, or we might not know a lot of things about this chingadera right now. We know more right now than we knew at the beginning, but how different it is, how willing or unwilling you are. If you're not willing, step back, resign, and let the organization move forward. But don't hold tight. But that's to you, the top, the head, to realize that's part of your corporate culture. It's a shitload of information, but good information. Remember, you're supposed to know it and let the experts implement them. You're supposed to know your company and let the experts do the rest. Where am I going to get the money to hire the experts? Well, Why did you start a company in the first place? This brings me to our quote from today. And it comes from Ray Kroc, the McDonald's. We can say that's the founder. He's not the founder, but okay. So he said, if you're not a risk taker, you should get the hell out of business. I'm sorry, but it's true. If you are not a risk taker, you should get the hell out of business. See you tomorrow. It's been great seeing you. Bon appetit. Ciao.
Thank you for listening to Lunch with the Shark. If you would like to set up a consultation with the Shark CFO, Vidal Espinosa, visit his website www.invictus-advisors.com and don't forget to subscribe on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn.